Well, hello again. This is Mark. I am gonna show you what I have updated in the game as I'm working my way to an AI opponent. This is part three, the air war. So, I'm planning on showing you how now that I have made the air use some rules and priorities to um, sort of act in an automated fashion. I cannot guarantee that in this scenario you're not going to see some weird stuff. Um, the logic for what an opponent would have to keep in mind is is something that we'll continually have to tweak. But I have gone through some testing of this and it does look like generally it does stuff that kind of makes sense within reason. So just bear with me, and we're gonna basically just start going through a scenario. I'm gonna kind of explain a little bit about how I've set up how the error logic works. Um, so some ground rules. The AI opponent is not gonna use strategic error. I've added enough features into the game where essentially most of the game can be played during the action phase uh, by utilizing the different options that I've given aircraft to kind of act and interact within the game. So I'll kind of show you how have kind of set it up so you kind of get an idea of like what it's going to do. That's the VP, not that. Okay, so I set up my allies on my Soviet AI. I'm going to play this again as two sides against each other. Both of them have a normal setting. I'm using the garrison combat option. As is in the last mission, it means you can load troops and land them in enemy bases. Um, let's see. I have turned on the air surface detection and combat, so this is pretty essential, right? This allows the air to interact with detect things in the surface, detect subs. Um, so these are the options essentially that I have going on right now. I have turned off strategic mining and strategic attack board, but it really doesn't matter because I'm not really using mining or attack coordination in this logic yet. So right now, what is the AI going to be able to do? So the AI is going to be able to do different mission types. You have patrol types. So let me show you. Okay, so I'm going to show you like some changes I've made. So now when if you select the AI selection, okay, so normally you see when you go over, you see what's in that location, okay? But if you want to like view like the AI logic, which really only works when you're running things from an AI against AI, you can click this button, and what that does is now whenever you go over areas, you will actually see what's being set up for that unit. So during the setup forces phase, you can see which objectives that you've set that unit up to be able to link to. Okay, so notice here on the right, you see that the A7, two A7, Greek A7s, and an American F-16 are split between two different objectives. One is the destroy base objective, and one is a patrol objective. The patrol objective is this one right here, which means they'll patrol this area. Okay, kind of created it kind of small. I've also you could get as detailed as you want. Like for fighters and armed aircraft, you could probably extend the patrol a little farther down. But I'm trying to just use one patrol right now for all types of aircraft. And obviously, you wouldn't want to fly a P3 any closer than um, four hexes of a cap because they'll automatically die. Okay, so I've kind of just adjusted that a little. But like I said, you can create as many of these patrol objectives. You could create a particular shaped patrol objective that certain types of aircraft will follow, and a certain type of patrol objective the other aircraft will follow. So you have complete control over that. So so this new feature now you can see what's everything set up. As you see, the two submarines can either do patrol and replenish. This is all from the last video. And then you have MiG-23 and an SU-24, both with a patrol objective. Okay, so essentially they're going to be patrolling, looking for things to blow up. I could give them also a destroy base objective just for fun, but I think you'll see how the destroy base objective works when we start the game. So, so aircraft basically can be assigned to um, right now two different types of missions. One is destroy a particular base, which means it'll fly to that base and destroy it. And the other one is you set it in a patrol area. In that patrol area, it'll look for, based on how it launches, it'll determine between different types of load types that the ship can, that the aircraft can pick. It might launch in SSM mode, it might launch in ASW mode, and then based on that, it'll look for different target types and will prosecute those targets. So, yeah, so let's get on going. I just want to start the thing and show you how it kind of works. Let's see. I've added a few aircraft for the Soviets down here. Notice that it has a SU. Well, these are an SU-20. I think that's I think that's Libyan MiG-23 and a Russian IL-38. I have some more Libyan forces here, MiG-23, SU-20, and a recon. And the patrol, that's a patrol type objective is universal. It's going to be pretty much the most common type of a mission that you're going to have your aircraft go on. And as we go through time, I'll add more different types of missions and stuff. But from an AI perspective, again, it's you just kind of give it general rules to follow and general objectives to do, and then let it go. Chips were a little more specific, right? You have load and unload. You have a patrol as well. You have replenish, but planes are a little different, right? They pretty much fly out and land, and they have to do that every single thing. So there's only so many things a plane can do. Now, certain types of aircraft, like interceptors, what they'll do is at the beginning of the turn, after I start it, some will actually go on cap, and that'll be dependent on um, the caution or the aggression level of the AI, and the comparison between its ability to fight air and its ability to fight to drop bombs. So, for instance, an F-16 probably, it's probably 50% of the time or so it's gonna be cap, and sometimes it'll just go out on missions. F-14 is probably more likely they're gonna go on cap because they have so much. They don't even have a bombing thing, but they won't always become capped. Sometimes they will be allowed to activate, and when they activate, they'll either go in air-to-air mode, which is a mission type that I think you guys were familiar with, but if you're not, it's basically just like it's pretty much like SSM or ASW, except you're attacking other aircraft, and they will look for aircraft in this area and intercept them. So let's get going. Enough talk, and gonna see how it works. Hopefully, I will start this thing over if I get bad weather in this area. I don't want to go through bad weather in this area last time. So hopefully, wish me luck. Okay, turn 1 a.m. Okay, great. All good weather here. Okay, so now you see, okay, so this is going to be pretty interesting, okay? So you have this again, since this is the way I'm displaying this is I'm displaying both sides as AI. Because I'm displaying both sides as AI, there's a special phase that pops up called AI situation review. And I've done some edits to how the game processes. So technically, it'll run in the sort of in the background where you'll actually see these round and cycles go up, so you kind of know that it's processing. And when it stops, and it'll keep going until it has some reason to stop and show you. But otherwise, the two sides are just going to be battling against each other. Okay, and it'll go through each turn. They'll then determine what to do next. They'll then maybe get replenished. The ships will get replenished. It'll just kind of take over. So really, at this point, you're just watching it. Now, most of the time, you're not even going to see this phase because you're likely going to play it where it's you against the AI. In that case, then you're just going to see your stuff as normal. But if you have both sides, which is I'm showing this simply for demo purposes, and if you wanted to have fun watching the two sides go against each other, you could go in both AI mode and watch it go. So all this basically shows is why it's basically telling you why it's stopping. So it's telling you why it's stopping because there's been some new activations and generally some other status changes. It just means something changed. This other status change usually means like the game just started and there is nothing to compare it against. So what it's essentially doing is it's comparing the situation of the AI from the last time it got to this phase to this time, and it's doing a comparison. It's using some logic to figure out, oh, something wasn't activated before and now it's activated now. Something wasn't damaged before, now it's damaged now. Something wasn't destroyed before, now it's destroyed now. It'll detect those changes and then it'll stop and tell you why it's generally trying to stop. Okay? All right, so essentially in this round, let's see. I think okay. So some things did go on cap. Notice in this situation at the very beginning, you have cap being launched, an F-14, F-18, and the E-2C. It looks like okay. Some this SU-24 went on cap, right? It's a small chance, but it's basically comparing like 40 versus 70. So most of the time, it's gonna not go on cap. Looks like there's actually multiple planes on cap here. So from a randomness perspective, the AI chose to do a MiG-23 and an S-24 on cap. All right, I'm just going to keep hitting next here and just let it go through. Okay, so now you see it's going through the phases and it'll stop the next time it has something to tell us about. Right now, the planes, if there are any planes activated, it'll show you. Now it stops at round 3. So it went through 20 cycles, which means for 20 cycles, it didn't really, it basically just move stuff around. Um, if we look, you can now see all the different orders of things that are going on. So let's look at the ships so you can kind of remember what the ships are supposed to be doing. So this Allied Task Force is, if you look over here, it shows the Allied Task if you look at the Allied Task Force, you see that it has an unload mission with 1 point left to move. So for this turn, it's got one more point left to move, but it is on an unload mission. And notice that the white line goes down to the Crete, which is where it's supposed to be going, if you remember from last time. Let's look at some of the other planes and things stuff that are moving around. Let's see. You have a lot of things moving around, so that means there's likely a lot of aircraft and stuff in the air and moving around. Let's see what's going on. For the Russians, it looks like no, these guys are on cap. These guys, nobody's been picked up on a mission yet, and same thing here. So kind of bad luck for the Russians. They don't always get picked, right? So every 10 cycles, it tries again to figure out if it's going to activate any aircraft. Most of the ships it'll activate like right off the bat. Um, let's see. So some American stuff did get activated. If you notice, there's a couple of things here. You got A6. So this A6 is on so it's on an SSM mission. It's active. And you can see where it's trying to go. So it's basically just trying to go somewhere in its patrol area. So it picked up the patrol. It picked up the patrol, and you can tell that it picked up the patrol. But looking on the right, you see where it says attack A6, patrol move 28 SSM. So that means it's basically it picked a patrol mission that has 28 movement points left, and its role, essentially, its air mission is SSM. Which means what it's going to do is it's going to fly in this area. If it sees any surface targets, it's likely going to try to attack them if it has enough movement. Now, early on, there's probably none of the Russians are going to get into this area, so they might not attack anybody. All right, let's check it out. So you're going to start seeing things moving all around the next time it has to update you. Okay, round 4. Now new activations. So it basically just moved again and moved up about 9 cycles. And it looks to me like likely we have some aircraft from the Russian side that are trying to do something here. So looks like this F-16 just got launched. Okay, so I'm glad it did this. Now you can see what's happening. So you'll notice here what happened is the what the AI does is it says, "Hey, do I want to activate from this location?" Once it does activate from the location, every aircraft that can activate from that location will get launched. So notice what happened is the Greek A7, one Greek A7 picked up the destroy base mission, so it's going to head down there. Another A7 is picked up a patrol mission, and it's moving. If we look here, we look at this A7, we notice it's patrol. It's just moving over one space, and then it'll try to figure out some other things to do. F-16 also picked up the destroy base mission, but it's going in an escort mode. So it's, I believe, what it's going to do. So what it's going to try to do is probably like escort. Um, the F-16 will choose one of the aircraft to escort. Okay, so hopefully the AI will choose for the AI's sake. Hopefully the AI will choose the F-16 to escort the destroy base one. And I think I'll probably put a change in it where if it's running the same mission, that it'll try to escort another plane on that same mission if it can. Otherwise, it'll just pick any random aircraft in its space to follow around. So when an interceptor gets launched, the interceptor is going to get launched in either an air-to-air mode or an escort mode. Air-to-air mode means it's willy-nilly flying where it wants to. It's not worrying about what other things are. But there's a chance, though, it gets launched in an escort mode. Escort mode is just like air-to-air mode, except it will take precedence if it has another plane in its space that's doing a mission. It'll kind of follow that guy and keep with them. Um, so we'll see what happens. In addition, you see this F-18 got launched from the carrier. It's running in air-to-air mode. You can tell it says Patrol Move 10 Air Superiority. And what the game engine is doing is it's letting them prosecute their mission until they're at the point where they need to return to base, and then they'll automatically return to base. So notice he has 10 movement points left, and he is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spaces from his base. So when he gets down to 7, he'll determine that he needs to go return to base, and he'll head there. We have this S3. The S3 has a F-14 escort. If you look at it, if you look at what the ships are in here, you notice that it has a F-14, and this F-14 is in escort mode. Notice, so it followed this recon plane all the way down. This this guy, this EA6B, just happens to be along for the ride. So I don't know exactly which one the F-14 is escorting. But when these two split up, the F-14 will have to make a decision between following the recon or following the Prowler. So it is following some logic. It may not do exactly what you would want it to do, but you're not controlling it. If you want to control it, then don't play it as AI. If you want to play against an AI, then you have to realize that the AI is going to basically choose what it wants to do, and it may not be the most accurate thing or even the most effective thing. But it should give you an initial challenge. Um, it could be kind of aggressive. It is going to make some decisions like just attack when maybe you think it doesn't make sense. So we'll have to see what happens. I think there are some Russian stuff getting launched at the same time. If you look over here, you notice that let's see, the MiG-23 got launched in air superiority. An Su-20 got launched in bombing. And where is it going? If we look here, oh man, I hate that. I always try to move my mouse over and I don't need to, but um yeah, so if we go like if you look at the Su-20, we notice that the Su-20 is going there. The MiG-23 is going to go there, and the IL-38 is going to go up there. Now, the IL-38, that's a bad location to go. Maybe, right? There's fighters flying around, and it may end up changing its. Sometimes it changes its location, or changes where it's going. So lots of times you'll see the planes just kind of picking new locations to go. They kind of want to meander around in their patrol area. All right. So anyway, I'm gonna hit this. Keep going. Cap combat. Bang. Soviet versus Allies. All right. So I think what likely happened here is the A7 went down, and Wow, they got lucky. He rolled at a 1 against 2. So it sounds like man, whew, man, I think this S20, we'll see. I'm not sure who did what. We'll have to see what happened here. So, but anyway, the Soviets just beat up on some unsuspecting aircraft. All right. So what happened? Let's see. So I think what happened here is yes. So the Greek plane got shot down or got returned to base, and I believe unbelievable. So the game just picks random like aircraft to choose to kill, and it looks like it put two kills against the F-16. So if we look up here in the dead column, yep. So good lord, F-16. So the F-16 did in fact escort the F-16 did in fact escort the um it did in fact escort the Greek A7. It just got unlucky, way unlucky. This dumb SU-24 and I guess the SU-24 and the MiG-23 attacked the F-16 and the A7. They rolled on the one to two table, and they rolled a 9, and they got 2 hits, and they killed the F-16. So there you go. All right, let's just keep going. Who knows, right? I don't know who. All right, new detections. All right, let's see. Yeah. So somebody got detected. All right, so this A7 here, this A7 that is on a bombing mission, it's kind of flying around, and it looks like it got detected by. Looks like it got detected. Likely, it got detected by these aircraft. Okay. Now, if you look at these aircraft, they're both heading up there. This guy's in air-to-air mode, and he must have sighted him because he has a range of 4 of seeing. And this SU-20 is heading right through there. So this guy's in bombing mode, so he's probably not gonna he won't be able to intercept this guy, but this guy can if he has enough room when he gets in line and while he's moving around in this area, the AI might pick this interceptor to actually go and try to catch up with this A7 and shoot him down. We'll see what happens. At the same time, you see this IL-38 dumbly flying up here, and I didn't update the patrol area to keep it away from like land-based air. So it's very possible that if this guy had decided to go on cap this turn, that he would have shot this guy down. But he isn't on cap. He's ready to go, but he hasn't been activated yet. All right, let's keep going. All right, so more stuff's getting detected. Okay, now the A7 has detected this recon. Okay, and I'm just gonna keep going until I see something fighting against each other. So notice they're moving around, right? And the game will move until one of these things, until something tells it to stop, right? Now again, this is not how you would normally be playing your game. You would not be playing it AI to AI. But since we are in AI to AI, that's why I'm showing you this display. Otherwise, you just be doing your own thing, and you wouldn't see all these aircraft. You just see stuff pop up as you sighted it. So it looks like the A6 got detected as well. All right, cap combat: Allies versus Soviets. Results: Defender has 0 ATA rating. Defender limited. All right, so this guy must have flew within a cap. Okay, if you notice here, he's flying. He's 1, 2, 3, 4 from this area here, and in this area you have an E2C and a 14 and 8 F-18. So yeah, that's why American carriers kick butt, right? Because literally, if any recon flies within there, and he hasn't even detected, he doesn't even know it's up there. But yeah, so anyway, so it looks like the Russians lost that recon plane. Okay, bang. New detections, a mission completed, and a unit moved from play. I'm probably going to give you some options to like tell the AI logic to I'll probably add some like options here that'll say something like, um, don't stop for these, don't stop for these, right? Like, um, you know, if you're impatient. But again, it doesn't make sense to create a whole bunch of logic for this option because hardly anybody's going to play AI versus AI. But if a lot of people like playing AI versus AI, give me feedback and I'll add more features in. But essentially, right, most of the people won't ever play AI versus AI. All right, here we go. All right, new detection. So every time it stops, I'm just going to take a look at the situation until something interesting happens. Mission completed means a plane. Usually, what mission completed means is that a plane landed back to its wherever its home base was. Okay. You could probably tell by looking here. It looks like this F-14 and F-18. These ones probably came back from what they were doing, right? So if we look at this F-14, we notice it shows it was on an R2. It was the last air mission it had was return to base because it reached the end of its fuel. It was activated, but now it's done. So that shows you that it was activated this turn. It's now done, and the last thing it did was return to base. Same thing with this F-18, which is normally what you're going to have, right? You're going to end up having all the aircraft kind of go through their routes, and eventually things will calm down, right? Because the planes will eventually run out of fuel and they'll have to go to base. Okay, so now you see more stuff's going back home. You notice the A7 is going back home, which is, so this is pretty cool. The logic is doing what it should be doing. This guy, he's got 12 movement left, and so he knows he doesn't have to return yet. Um, this guy has this guy has 2 movement left, which is it perfectly determined. It perfectly figured it out that hey, I got two. It figured out that hey, I have 2 spaces to go, and I have 2 things of fuel left. Now for AI, I've basically turned off since it automatically tries to return to base. I'm for AI controlled planes. I'm not giving them the ability to run out of fuel and crash, right? Because the logic to like keep track of a moving carrier, it just isn't worth the juice isn't worth the squeeze, right? So I mean, it just basically means that the AI has a little it is getting a tiny bit of a cheat, right? Where if they happen to use their 41st movement point for a 40, right? They're still gonna survive, right? So I'm giving some allowances for the fact that for performance sake, it doesn't make sense to do all those calculations to figure out the exact like movement of this plane, the ship, and where it goes back. So I kind of just I dumbed it down a little bit. You probably never would notice it if I didn't tell you. All right, so we'll keep going. All right, so things are going back home. All right, new activations. Now somebody decided to activate now. Not sure who. Like, oh, looks like this group. This group did. Yeah, F-18 went on a bombing, is going on a bombing. It's going to go over here to search, and then it's going to keep changing. And then the P3 is going here on a patrol mission, ASW. All right, we'll see what happens. Okay, more detections. Okay, mission completed. All right, so pretty much, I don't know what this F-18 is doing. What is he doing? Okay, he's traveling. Looks like he went all the way up here, and now he's coming back to here. So he's basically just kind of just going around within the patrol area, and you know which what the patrol area is. You notice here this patrol objective here. If I can ever click this guy. Oh, I need to update that so that this is clickable, so you can actually see the coverage of it. Again, only useful in this scenario or in this phase. All right, so things are landing. Yeah, the F-18 went back. This turn will go on a little bit longer because a recon a P3's got a crap ton of range, so it's just gonna keep flying around doing stuff. It's only an ASW guy, right? So here you see it's stopping to patrol. Notice this bar over here. So basically, what the logic does for any plane that's on a in a patrol route is they'll randomly move. So essentially, what happens is the plane will randomly move through to different locations within its patrol zone. While it's moving, it'll either continue to move, or there's a chance, depending on its aggression factor, whether it stops and um, goes into search mode. Okay, and when it's in search mode, if it's an ASW type plane, that means it has a greater chance of detecting a sub underneath it. If it's and it also has greater ability to search surface, right? So, and what it'll also do is it will, if it sees enemy units within its patrol zone and it's of the right type of unit, like if it's armed with SSMs and it sees a surface ship, then it might intercept it. And I just added in that it'll also calculate um, what range to um, to stand off for. Okay, so yeah, so each time I update the game, I'm making it slightly smarter. I'm actually getting very close to actually releasing this version um, because all I want to do is I want to take the current scenarios that I've already created for you guys and actually add the AI logic in for those guys. Add the objectives, give the, all that jazz. So let's see. Let's just keep going, see what happens. Okay. Wow, something got new activated. Who got new activated? I don't know who got new activated. Maybe Russians? Oh, so good Lord, it took 11 times around, but these Russians finally decided to launch. So the reason why I did it that way is because if you as a player, if you always know that the AI is going to launch all aircraft at the very beginning of the turn, it kind of it kind of make things easier on you, right? You basically just wait around till all the air lands, and then you don't have to worry about it. But by adding this level of randomness in it, you can't predict when you might see enemy air. Okay, so it looks like now we have a SU-20 going in bombing. So if you look at these guys, right? If you look here, you notice the MiG-23 is on air superiority, so he's going to fly out to there. The Recon is going to fly over to there, and the SU-20 is going to fly there, and he's in bombing. So he's basically looking for ships to bomb. Again, the AI doesn't know that there are no American ships in the area for them to bomb. So it's just going to launch anyway, right? Why would it know? It's still trying to find things and search. All right, so let's keep going. New detections. Looks like air is detecting. Oh, so now the ships have been detected. This guy, if he had SSMs, he could attack this guy, but he don't, so he won't. All right. Uh-oh. This guy's air to air. Okay. This guy, if this plane don't change course, or if he tries to get away, this guy might choose to actually prosecute this guy. So we might lose this P3 right now. Let's see what happens. Yep, that's what happened. So he just ran right through the P3. P3 didn't see him until it was too late, and he eliminated the P3. All right. Recon stops to go into recon mode. So I think you get the picture, right? So essentially, the air will do what air should do. It'll either patrol an area, and the logic, I've added enough logic in here to make it smart enough to know what types of things it can go look for, and it's slightly affected by its aggression factor. Okay, so I think it's almost to the point where you could play against an AI opponent where the AI opponent will likely lose, but hopefully we'll start learning and we'll start getting the AI to be better and better at what it does. But I'm putting out some basic logic that allows it to pick different types of missions, and the air is a little simpler than the air is a little simpler than ships because it really can't do as much stuff, and it has to land every turn. So there's only so much things you can do. But what it can do is the patrol is a very powerful depending on where you put the patrol zone and all the different options. And you notice, right? You notice that the ships were these planes were all launched using different mission types, and that's dependent on the type of unit it is, what its strengths are, and what it can do, right? So a fighter like this, the MiG-23 that doesn't have any SSMs, is never going to get launched as an SSM. It's going to get launched either as an air-to-air air superiority, or a or an escort, or a bomber, essentially. And let's see, and the game is smart enough to know that once a aircraft uses its weapons, like it still has room to fly, so it goes automatically into recon mode, which means it can just go around and it'll act a little differently. Like recon planes won't try to go necessarily right over its target area, so if a recon plane sees as something that it wants to investigate, it's smart enough to figure out that, hey, I don't need to get right over the ship in order to sight it or to get close to it, right? It'll try to get within range of what it knows its range is, and stay there. So I'm just gonna let it go a little bit longer, and we'll see if we can see some other stuff happening. All right, so this turn is going really long because the aircraft got spaced out, and let me see. I think, yeah, as soon as these planes land, um, likely, so all the Russian stuff is landing. You noticed, right? All these guys went back to the base. This guy is still out here. He's got a move of 5. Why is he not landed yet? Well, because he's still got 5 space and he's only 4 from his thing. So it's smart enough to know, hey, I still got, but pretty soon it's gonna choose to go back. It's probably going back right now. There you go. It did. There it is. It landed. Bang. So I gotta admit, the logic is pretty tight. It's very good from a basic standpoint, right? It does what it's supposed to do. I think it'll go all the way to the end of round 14, and then nothing's moving around, so it should end the mission. Yes, no units or orders or moving points remaining. Action segment is over. Boom, and it goes to PM, and then it starts all over again. Things could, there you go, right off the bat, bam. The F-18 decided to go on cap. Let's see, on the carrier, an E-2C and an F-14 went on cap. For the Russians, MiG-23 on cap. Nobody on cap here, nobody on cap there. So that means all those planes are going to be available to fly. Here, these A7s have picked up. Okay, the A7s got activated. They're both going. Well, one of them's going bombing up here, and the other one, the other one is on a. The other one went on a destroy base one. So this is not going to be good for the A7. Let's just watch what happens. The A7 is going to get within range here and get attacked by Cap, and we'll see if the A7 is lucky enough to survive the Cap. Let's see what happens. Cap combat. So nope, that was quick. So the Soviets attacked the Allies coming down. Column 2-1. He rolled a 6. So the A7 is gonna have to retreat and lose a step. So now you look up here. Bang, bang, bong. The A7 got yeah. So the A7 made it one spot up. It went like this, and the and this guy intercepted at 4 range, knocked him out. This guy just launched and he's going up here. So, um, so my next step, I'm gonna go ahead and release this video. Again, this code is not out yet, but it's very soon to be. I don't think I'm gonna add too much more logic. I'm now gonna go to the scenarios that I've already set up, and I'm gonna try to set up a bunch of scenarios with already AI set up for them, so that if you choose to play that mission as either Russians or the Americans, the other side will be following this kind of logic. But I have to set up each scenario individually by setting up the objectives and the VP amounts and all that jazz. So, yeah, so that's the update. that's my update. I hope this is getting you excited. And I think this could be fun, right? I think right now, I think it's less compelling because um, it's AI playing AI, so you have two stupid idiots playing at the same time to each other. But if you were playing against the AI, you see that the AI would generally do some stuff that you'd have to react to, right? So it's a nice way of just, hey, if I just want to play a quick mission, and obviously, if you guys can help me with ideas on how to make them smarter or different options of things to use, or if you notice certain things, right? I think this at this point you can probably start like playing the game a lot and saying, I notice what the AI does all the time is it does this. So maybe we ought to do this, right? And give me examples of things to do. Anyway, I look forward to hearing from your comments and seeing reactions on this. But I think we're really close to me releasing this. Hopefully, uh, this is exciting, and this makes you excited for the version that's going to come out soon. But until then, I'll talk to you all later. Thanks a lot so much.